Academic 2017 Literature Resource Guide Continued, Women and War, picking up on page 13. It is no coincidence that both the major work and two of the shorter works selected for this resource guide were written by women. This affords readers a less conventional, though arguably and equally valuable, perspective on the experience of total war during the years 1939 to 1945. Moreover, the new technologies of airborne warfare had almost completely obliterated the traditional distinction between the battlefield and the civilian space. Bomber airplanes and German V-2 guided missiles could bring the war literally home at any moment, thus exposing women, children, the infirm, and the old to the same shattering violence that men were exposed to habitually at the battlefront. We shall be able to test our preconceptions about women's handling of war at the home front in the section of short prose works where we will read two accounts of the London Blitz by British women. Since we often associate war writing with descriptions of combat and military engagements, we tend to shortchange the treatments of war from a non-combatant, especially a female, perspective. But as Petra Rao has argued, civilian accounts of war provide a, quote, clearer recognition of the psychological toll that waiting and lack of information take on those left at the home front, on women and parents, and of the utter bleakness of wartime life and the austerity years that followed it. It is the cost of war, its traumatic nature, rather than its ideological significance or its victories, that is highlighted in these books. Transit by Anna Segers belongs to this category of war book, opening a window onto the experience of displaced, hunted, and haunted refugees in France during the early stages of World War II. The choice to focus on women's writing was further inspired by an understanding that male writing about combat might give rise to excitement over masculine heroics and the thrill of battle that could distract from the troubling, dehumanizing, and, frankly, nihilistic effects of war, especially the war's effects as they were experienced by the civilian population. In World War II, civilians accounted for more than half of the total death toll, a death toll that will never be ascertained with absolute certainty, but which is estimated to have reached 60 million casualties. Thus the perspective of war literature, which during World War I was rigorously focused on the soldier's experience, needs to shift to include the ways in which the war impacted the masses of civilians, both the directly persecuted groups such as Jews, Roma, and others, and those indirectly drawn into the destructive maelstrom, such as civilian hostages killed in retaliation for sabotage attacks in occupied territories, as well as refugees, asylum seekers, and displaced persons in general.